Welcome to Duke Champions.
Listen up. All you ever asked for is an opportunity. You got it today. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Yeah!
Come on with it, baby!
Yeah!
And an uncontrolled outpouring of hip young people.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yeah, red, white, blue, feel the cold wind blow. Breaking down the tape in the combat zone. From Orchard Park to the end zone throne. This is Bill's talk, hard facts, backbone. Yeah. Alex Cullen with the sharp insight. Randall Cypher scheming chess moves all night. Alex Miley, big dumb animal raw. Smashing hot takes through the studio door. Stats get funky, narratives get thrown. Through champions, media, Buffalo combat zone. Buffalo combat zone. Beat it, crowd chant, let's go Buffalo. Beat it, crowd chant, let's go Buffalo.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Duke Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Duke Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Duke Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
We have 11 viewers, and it didn't even start yet. That's pretty cool. Good job.
Let's go. Good job. Good job, 11 viewers.
All right. Welcome back to the Buffalo Combat Zone. We're your hosts, Randall and Alex. Miley will be in here shortly. We're going to do a breakdown of the preseason game this weekend, stock up, stock down, and give our thoughts. What's up, buddy?
Oh, not much. It was a good first preseason game. You know, there was some chatter about how it didn't look good on TV. I'm not quite sure how that's even relevant or an actual thing. I understand that the paint job wasn't all the way there, and that's fine, but I thought it looked good. But yeah, I mean, there isn't much stock down, but we have some stuff to talk about and stuff like that. What do you think of the game?
It was pretty cool in the beginning. I thought that the offense looked like it was just kind of ready to roll. I don't see any need for us to play. We'll kind of get into this a little bit later, I think, but I don't think there's any need for us to play the starters again. I think that was too much. Allen getting hit like that was egregious, and I thought the DJ Moore thing was scary. And Keon Coleman's in a boot already, so I don't need to see them anymore. I know that they might, but I don't know. I just don't think what I saw was like, oh, there's no it's nice having a really like an excellent quarterback, right?
Right.
Because like you go into these games, like I remember thinking like in the past, like I do want to get Allen some reps, and year 2, year 3, year 4, even year 3 was like a huge step up year, and we kind of wanted to see that step when we did. And then year 4 is like I want to keep it going, so let's give him some reps in preseason. And then after that, it was year 5 was like let's keep it going. And since then, I've been totally out on him playing in the preseason. His mechanics are a part of who he is now. He doesn't need that refined every year work on that. I don't think like he used to. He's clearly reading the field well. I think the offense looks different. We can talk about that as well.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily need to see any more of him or any of them.
Yeah, I guess the only conversation that would be in between now and the next home preseason game would be, how did you feel about being on this field? How was the noise level? Do we need to adjust from that? They'll probably ask Josh Allen that question. If I had to take a guess, like, do you think you need another one before we go into a real home game, against the Lions? Are you prepared for what that stadium is? I'm sure that they can do some work in the stadium with the noise without a preseason game. So I think so overall, I do think I don't want to see him either. I agree. There was like we'll talk about the offense. Hopefully Miley jumps in here and stuff, but it was different, which was good. And then that led to, what we plan on seeing in the change of Joe Brady without McDermott versus with McDermott, and you could already see that in what he was kind of dialing up. I think probably a stock up, which it's not really a stock up thing, is that the first mesh was halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah.
So, I think that was probably calculated by Joe Brady, to be honest with you. So when it comes down to it, I mean, I watched the all 22. I didn't pay attention to much of the passing game when it came down to it, because once Josh Allen got out of there, everybody looked good. And I looked at some formations, but really it was what the defense was doing and what the offensive line was doing was way more important.
I think the utilization, the one thing that stuck out to me the most was their willingness right off the bat to get Khalil Shakir down the field some,
Yeah.
That was the most glaring thing, because in the past we might see that and then it will go away like immediately. Right. And it was like, okay, we're back to like who they want Shakir to be, but they had him set up again. They had him in motion a few times. I saw what was the one on the flag or the corner? I call it a flag route, corner route, where he just lost the linebacker in coverage and just kept completely wide open. I think setting him up with matchups that he likes that are advantageous for him. I can see they're trying to do that and get him down the field more, because he's got speed. His hands are reliable. Although maybe early in the career, I didn't think that as much about him, but I mean, I trust his hands. And I think he's a good route runner. He's not like this elite route runner or anything, but he's definitely good enough to beat over half the nickel corners and all the linebackers in the NFL. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's really what you're going to see.
You could see that they were dialing up a couple mismatches for Shakir in the slot to get him ready for that intermediate, because he is pretty sneaky at the stem, and that's what I love. Like him and Dalton Kincaid, that's why they're the main guys in the slot. Is that stem work is very fluid and unnoticeable, and that's how they kind of separate at that point. So that's where that's the most exciting thing is Shakir being able to go intermediate and deep and looking at that subtleness and how they created mismatches for him.
Yeah, and then the other thing that kind of stood out was people are going to overhype this Keon. This is the same Keon Coleman we've seen before. I don't know why. I don't know why we're making such a big deal about this game where he had a touchdown and a couple of catches, and like he's still doing the same shit.
He
3 catches, 9 yards a catch, and got a touchdown. And it was a cool touchdown, but he wins like that all the time.
That's how he scores touchdowns, right?
That's how he gets touchdowns. Yeah.
It's how he gets it. I get it. I think the one thing that was positive, that was different in between Keon last year and Keon this year, is that they were using him a lot in decoys and off ball slot stuff to, have that comeback route to open up for, I think that was to open up Shakir in the middle, was he ran a kind of deep in, and then Shakir went over top and he was open, and then he didn't get that.
Yeah.
He didn't get the ball. But yeah, I thought that was good, but he's still doing the same stuff. I agree. Like it's taking him six quick steps to decelerate on that deep end. That's all the same stuff. So it is. I mean, I like the idea of Keon Coleman potentially being that scramble guy with DJ Moore to catch touchdowns, but his stat line is probably going to be dead set on what it's been always and continuous. Yeah,
like I think like his stat line to me is going to be like 40 catches,
400,
450, maybe.
5, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, like 5 or 6 touchdowns. That's just it's and that's fine. He'll be wide receiver 4 and we'll be happy, right? You'll be happy with that, and I'm good with that. I mean, and it'll be a little bit of him and Palmer rotating in at wide receiver 3, I think. And then what'll happen is based on the matchup or the situation, we'll see more of him or less of him, and we'll see more or less of Palmer, unless Palmer just ends up being far and away better, like in a way that you can't get him off the field, which is possible. Otherwise, you're going to see them kind of rotate some, and that'll keep Palmer healthy too by not having as many reps.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, sorry, my AirPods decided they didn't want to work today. I have them plugged in. I don't know what's going on with them, but I had to go and grab my gaming headset that kind of looks bulky and dumb, but
that's all right. I got them every year.
That's your gaming headset?
Yeah, it's a cheap one that I've had this.
Is that cheetah print or what? Is that like cheetah print?
It's a camo.
You sure about that, bro? You sure? Looks like a tiger or cheetah situation to me.
No, I'm a dude, so no.
Well, that's why I was giving you a hard time.
Oh, there you go.
Man.
While we're talking receivers, if you want to jump in,
Of course we are.
I kind of figured that Palmer versus Keon. I guess my take on it's probably going to be Keon's going to be early downs, blocking, quick screens, stuff like that. Or not quick screens, quick slants, stuff like that. And then a lot of third downs going to be Palmer, deeper, more developing routes. Because that just kind of fits their skill sets better. Yeah. Because Keon's the guy that's going to get those quick, that can take a quick slant 50 yards. Palmer's not going to do that. But Keon's also not going to win a post route 30 yards down the field very often. Palmer can do that. So it's kind of going to be, which I guess is annoying in the fact that I might give it away for the defense a little bit, but that's just kind of how their skill sets are built. I mean, obviously they'll mix it up, and Palmer will be there on some rundowns. Keon will be on there some third downs, and they might both be on the field at times too. But I have a feeling it's gonna be a lot of strict personnel packages for the two. Because they basically have like complete opposite skill sets.
Yeah, I agree.
What are your thoughts on the we were talking about the offense in general. We ended up at the receiver position. What were your thoughts on your initial
it's preseason,
feelings?
But I really liked what I saw. I liked how they were pushing the ball down the field. DJ Moore obviously had a really good game. They were using Shakir down the field more. That first drive, the way it ended with the offensive line kind of, I don't really take too much into that because the first one, it was just, I think Josh was just kind of holding on the ball to try and let the play develop because it's preseason, try and see if he can get something. There's no reason to really quickly check it down in a preseason game. You kind of want to see how things unfold because if it doesn't work out, who gives a shit? The game means nothing. And then Spencer Brown just got beat. Jalen Phillips is really good. That's why he did get paid that much. Even though I think it's an overpaid, Jalen Phillips does have a lot of juice. And I've seen Spencer Brown have worse preseason games than that and turned out to have a really good season. So I don't put too much stock into it. Still remember that Pittsburgh game. It was 2023. And I remember coming away from that. I'm like, oh, it was the first game that they played since it was preseason right after the Cincy game. And I'm like, oh, this team's cooked. It just did not look good. And then we ended up being fine and having a normal season. Like, we ended up winning the division still. 11 wins. So, like, I'm not too overly concerned with that. I mean, the pass attack looked really good, and that was kind of what was nice to see against a decent Panthers defense that had a lot of their starters in. So it wasn't like we were just.
It was all their starters.
Yeah, exactly. And Carolina's defense has a lot of talent. I know they've dealt with some injuries, but they have some players. So
their D line's really good.
I mean,
the secondary.
They're focusing on their defense.
Yeah.
The Panthers' game plan for this year is our defense will set up Bryce Young to win in the fourth quarter. Yeah. That is Canales' game plan for sure. Yeah, it is. I think their defense is very good, so that was promising. I do think Deion Dawkins is getting a lot of slack. First of all, he did lose 30 pounds. I would say it's probably between 20 and 30. I'd say high 20s. But he does have to get used to that. And that one egregious one, it was a quick snap. It was supposed to be set the ball down and snap so you could see how up-tempo looked. I think that's easy teach tape to watch and be like, hey, this, what did you not hear in the huddle? That was supposed to be our up-tempo. You learn from that because they set that ball down, hiked it, and Deion Dawkins was just still standing there. So that's just something to learn on.
Yeah, I think Dawkins didn't really bother me. He got beat that one time. I didn't really think much of it. One time is whatever. People get beat. It's not going to – no one's ever perfect, right? But Spencer bothered me a little bit. My only concern is not really them. It's more of okay, the before, Deion's another year older, Brown's another year older. We're missing our left guard. Our center's out, so that's one thing, right? We'll see if he comes back in time. He sounds like it's going to be close.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, for the first week. So we might be with Cushenberry for a while. So we may see more of him, generally speaking. And it might push him and Cedric Van Granger onto the roster, honestly. Both of them potentially. So
I don't love that.
I don't love it either because it takes away a spot from somewhere else. You got two center-only players. Now, if they try them out in different spots, then maybe we have a different conversation. I don't know if they can do that. But I'm not overly concerned. I just would like to see them hit the ground running quicker. It is the first preseason game. Often, especially Deion has to get woken up a little bit sometimes. And maybe that's what they needed. And that's how I see it.
I don't think they would end up keeping both centers, even if McGovern's injured for a game or two, just because they could slide Anderson over and put Corbett in that position. It's like
that's true. I forgot we have
Corbett can play
Yep.
left. Like Corbett's a fine guard, and then they just move Alec over to center, which he was doing. He was McGovern's backup last year, so I think having Alec there and then having a competent backup behind Alec will allow, if someone gets injured, you can move Alec around and then put Corbett in his position.
Yeah. I will say
Alec
that
is the starter, which it sure looks like that's gonna what it is.
The offensive line depth looked pretty good in general. Like when it went to the battle of Alec Anderson versus Corbett, I think it was kind of like a wash for me. And I think Alec Anderson has the job. So there was no reason why he lost the job on Saturday. It's still his sort of thing. But Corbett, I think, played just as
better.
well.
I thought he played better than we expected him to, based on what we've been hearing.
I agree. So that was nice to see. I know, Alex, you are not a Chase Lund fan, but Chase Lund, and then Amaj Reed Adams,
the rookie,
that was at right guard and right tackle. They had a good duo together. They look good. Lund had quick feet. He had good lateral movement, and he had good.
He did get beat. He did get beat that one time.
He got beat once.
And I think it was a link thing.
Yeah. But I mean, when it comes down to it, I don't think anybody should be trashing Jude Bowery right now, even though he had a horrific game. He just got.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I didn't get to watch. Because I didn't watch I didn't watch all 22. I didn't initially feel that way when I was watching the game, just like on TV. You know.
Yeah. I think he looked like he was nervous. And that's fine. And that's more than fine, especially because he came in right after Deion Dawkins and then played the whole game. So it's not like he came in at the second half as a rookie. He
came
played
in as playing
near
against some
3
starters.
quarters.
Yeah.
And so he probably just had jitters, and I'm glad that he's going to have 2 more games because I guarantee Deion won't play 2 or 3. So he'll have probably a game and a half to kind of get more familiar of the NFL speed. But he looked like he had a good frame, and his movement was pretty good. It just he let people get around his bend, and he just let him get off his weight distribution.
He has the length and athleticism to be a left tackle in this league. So I'm not overly concerned until he starts. I mean, remember Deion Dawkins wasn't like excellent when he first started either. He kind of worked his way into it, and I kind of view him as similar skill set to Deion in terms of like his athleticism and his length. So although Deion's got extremely long arms. But yeah, I kind of agree there. And I'd like to see him. I think Grable's had such a bad camp that it's almost like we have to kind of.
And he's consistently injured. That's where I kind of want to ask that question because, like, I believe the Bills guy, the other Cover One podcasters, they put like Lund out and Grable in. And do you guys like? I'm nervous about his injury-prone potential, and then looking to see how Jude Bowery does it in 2 and 3. So I feel as though right now Chase Lund is kind of a front runner at the backup tackle position with Alec Anderson but he's going to be working on inside. That's how I feel. How do you guys feel in the tackle department and what that's looking like?
Go ahead, Miley.
I mean, I haven't like given it like too much thought, if I'm being honest, because I mean, we have our 2 starters right there, and then Bowery's kind of like the long-term option. So I haven't. I mean, I've seen some, but I haven't really like fully dived into it because it is there. I guess there's more important battles that I've kind of looked at. I don't know because it's tough because Grable I think definitely has more potential, and he looks so good like his first 2 years in camp and stuff. Like this looks like he'd be a franchise
left tackle one day.
Yeah. And then like last year, and like then he's dealing with injuries. Last year he kind of struggled a bit, and then this year he's struggling more. And it's I don't know if it's just like an injury thing and he just can't stay healthy or what it is, but it's definitely upsetting to see because that would have been nice if him and Bowery could have been like the 2 of the future. And it's like we can get out of Deion soon, and then down the line, Spencer Brown, who knows how long his career will be with his size and his potential back problems he could re-aggravate down the road.
Yeah. I haven't really
That's
thought
where I'm
about
kind
it.
of concerned, right? Because when it comes down to it, there was a game where both our tackles were out.
Yeah.
Last year.
I know.
So
it
like,
happens. We need more,
so great,
at least.
though.
Yeah, I know. It was Alec. Yeah, right. It was
Alec
a very
played
good game.
serviceable in the right. Yeah, he was fine.
Dan Vandermark and Anderson both held.
I really wish we had Vandermark back. I mean, I love Vandermark.
Yeah,
I've always loved Vandermark.
The $4 million though, that's where it was like tough. It was like, do we really want to be giving up backups when we just drafted a guy in the 4th round, $4 million like that?
So I like Tylen Grable exponentially more than I do Chase Long. I mean, it's not even close. I just like his game. I just think there's more potential there. But you're right. There's the player itself. He's been hurt for 2 years, pretty much on and off, and he can't stay healthy. He's not even playing.
Right. I mean,
he's not in the games.
Chase Long was never picked up from the practice squad, right?
No, he's much more likely to stay on the practice squad and let Grable. So my thought is it's going to be Grable probably still if he's healthy.
Right.
But I think Bowery's solidly going to be the swing tackle once he gets he's going to get a ton of play, like you said, like in the preseason, and we're going to see hopefully him kind of get a little more acclimated, a little more comfortable, and then going forward. What did you think of the UFL MVP? The running back.
Who's the UFL MVP?
The running back. What's his name?
Wheeler.
Wheeler. Oh, he had the touchdown.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on him?
He looked good.
I didn't watch the second.
Yeah.
I missed a lot of it, so I was wondering if you guys were like,
he looked good. I mean, his interior rushing was good. He kind of split it with Frank Gore Jr. and Frank Gore Jr. looked good as well. I didn't dive too in depth into Wheeler. I did think his interior rushing was very good, which I do love to see. I feel like there's a lot of running backs now these days that have difficulty doing that, and that's how he scored his touchdown. So I do like that ability. I kind of set that off to see what happens in 2 and 3 when the starters don't play and they get more time because, Ty Johnson, Ray Davis are clear cuts 2 and 3. I don't know if Wheeler superseded Gore Jr. in that because of what Gore Jr. has done for us recently. So hero there. It's good. I think he can be an NFL running back, which I'd love to see sort of thing. So that's great for him, even if he gets dropped and then somebody else takes him sort of thing. I love that, but he looked good.
Yeah, what if Ty Johnson's not ready?
My thought process is unless there's an injury where someone has to go on IR, neither Gore or Wheeler
they're not making a team.
Neither are touching the roster, so it's kind of like I honestly don't care that much because like we already have a top 6 to 7 running back in the league, and then two very good quality backup running backs. So it's like I just no offense to those guys, I just don't really care that much. Like if I'm going to be looking at like fringe roster like that, I'm going to be looking for the ones where there's potential to make, like the secondary, like a cornerback. There's a lot to look at. Defensive line, there's a lot to look at. Really, just all over the defense. Wide receiver for special teams reasons, there's a lot to look at. Like for those depth guys, those I have more interest in because those guys could potentially make the roster. Versus like Wheeler and Gore, even if they're they might be good enough to be RB3 or 4 somewhere else. It's just the way the Bills are set up.
That Mecole run on the end around, right? That was pretty. Mecole, right? That end around when that Jude Bowery accidentally tackled him. Probably started with that, right? He was like, "Oh man, I made an ass out of myself."
I screwed up, and it just snowballed on him.
And then it just snowballed. Just in quicksand. But that's kind of damning, especially because we were bad at that last year, right?
Yeah.
So
those plays never worked.
He looks speedy as hell on that run.
That's probably a good transition. Real quick, the Ian Wheeler thing, I like him. The only thing that you're right, he's not making the team unless Ty Johnson's hurt.
Right.
Worse than we think. And Ty Johnson's only got 1 year on his contract, I think, right? So we could easily stash him. He's a former HBCU player, played at Howard, I think. Second year. UFL, I think he was UFL MVP or either UFL championship game MVP. I can't remember. But I think it'd be good to stash. I think he's not going to get snatched up. Same thing with Frank Gore Jr. They're both pretty good, actually. Let's talk about wide receiver 6. I think that Pettis I thought Dante Pettis hit the fumble. And the part that I had the most problem with was that deep ball from Buscelli. Man, that was a good ball.
Pettis
didn't even attempt to put his hands up. And I was like, dude, that ball, when they did the replay, I thought it went out of bounds at first. And that's how the replay was just like right over his head. He just didn't even extend the arms. And then he kind of trotted off the field. Like, I don't know. It felt weird. But I thought Mecole Hardman he can do. I think he's a younger player. He's faster. He had a good game. I think he's had a better camp for sure, and he can also return kicks. I don't know. I think it's pretty. To me, it's pretty much a lock. But what do you guys think?
One thing I gotta say is they had Ray Davis taking the punt returning though.
They did. You're right. I think they were trying to.
Like if it was just
they're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, but that's where I was just like, maybe he's not as much of a. Maybe they're trying him there because they want Sherfield to make it for his gunning ability, and that's where it's like, even though Hardman looks like a better wide receiver, which I would much rather have Hardman as the wide receiver, but I think they're looking for the special teams value until Shavers gets back. Because who's the other gunner next to Franklin? Who was playing? I
don't remember.
Couldn't tell. I just remember Ray Davis being the punt returner. I was just like, that's interesting for sure.
Here's the thing, too. They may be thinking we're only going to carry 5 receivers, and we're going to test that out.
With 5 until Shavers gets back, because when Shavers is healthy, he's obviously.
I don't know. With Keon in a boot, Skylar Bell hasn't played in over a week. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that either.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I want it to, I want it to be 5 wide receivers, but I mean,
they could clearly be testing it.
Yeah, when Shavers gets back, I mean, he's pretty much a lock to be on the roster.
Be ready though. I think there's a legitimate shot to have 27 defensive players and 23 offensive players in this roster.
Yeah, I think as well. I mean, honestly, the Fedarian Mathis suspension is honestly a good thing because it gives the Bills 3 extra weeks to try and figure that out because he's not on the roster for 3 weeks, and maybe by then someone's injured and he just slides right in seamlessly, or you just maybe cut him if he's the one you were going to cut anyways, but you're going to free 3 extra weeks.
All right, let's talk about defense. I think it's a good transition. Talking about Phi Mathis. One thing I want to bring up really quick, Dwayne Carter does not look good with that weight at all.
He does not. And he's surprising. He hit the floor so many times, which was probably like the worst part about that game. I think he played the worst on the defensive line.
He just can't carry that kind of weight and be effective the way he needs to be. I think he's out of college. He's a 3 tech. You know, he's not a 0 or 1 usually. 330 pounds or whatever. He's definitely up to 330. Like I can see it on his body.
For sure.
He's heavy and he looks out of shape. He looks. I don't know. He just is not carrying. I don't know if he's out of shape or not. He may not be, but he looks slow and he looks like he's carrying a lot, and it looks like he's lumbering out there a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know if I love it.
One thing
I don't either.
Will say though is he is recovering from an Achilles tear.
That's true. Yeah,
that could be part of it. This is the first football he's played since tearing his Achilles last. Yeah, and the first year back, players always kind of look like from Achilles and ACL. Not always, but a lot of times players look kind of just slow and out of shape as they're getting used to their body again, playing on the field. And that could be part of it. I mean, part of it's probably the weight as well, but I bet you the weight plus the injury is like the injury's definitely got to be having an effect on it.
Yeah. That's fair. That's definitely fair because he'll get enough snaps in 2 and 3 to see how he adjusts and kind of gets back to it.
It's more
definitely the difference from 1. Yeah, from 1 to 3 would be probably one of the most interesting things. One positive light to come out of there, which I'm very surprised, and I very much hope I'm wrong. Well, I guess he got drafted where I would have drafted him, was Zane Durant. And he is an undersized dude, but he was on Bruce Feldman's freak list 2 years running for absurd, just power, explosion, everything along those lines. And he surprisingly showed it. I was very, he at one point, 2 gapped. Two offensive linemen, just strong arm, both like this. There's a picture somewhere. I was impressed at what Zane Durant did. Everybody knew that he had it. He just never produced at Penn State, but he could have it.
And Penn State was a weird situation too. With
pre-summer, he was like defensive tackle 5 when people were doing it, and then he just didn't do much at Penn State, and then that's where he dropped down. But he's got the traits.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's a super freak athlete. And he's definitely more athletic at Oliver if you think about it. But he's not that skilled.
Yeah, fair point.
Not yet.
Who definitely has it? Deion Walker. And that picture of him, you could just see his teeth through the face. That is one of the greatest pictures ever taken. Yeah. It literally looks like Jaws.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
that's
solar
a pretty
eclipse.
Good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It was a solar eclipse for Bryce Young.
Oh, dude. I mean, the thing was, he was all over the place. He got a sack, but that was like the least impressive thing he did. I mean, he was doing
the TFL.
He can play he can play nose tackle.
The Panthers' offensive line isn't terrible.
I mean,
either.
we didn't think he could,
Right.
like, for a while. Like, he just is not as he can do this.
Yeah. It's not like he's doing it against like Houston's offensive line or something.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
They're the
something like
number
that.
one most
Yeah, the Panthers
spended
have-
offensive line.
Yeah, the Panthers have like legitimate offensive linemen. He was just like just toying with them.
And he was just
I know.
navigating. He was navigating so well.
Offensive line.
Yeah, I felt like his navigation skills, like he just has like a nose for where he actually needs to be. Like I just saw a couple times where he was lined up at the 0 and he kind of hesitated and then he kind of went around. He ended up being around the guard and it was like the exact place he needed to be. Like it was just so many different things he was doing out there. It felt very nuanced compared to years past, or last year, I should say.
I think, I think what fans were afraid of Deion Walker is that at his size and his frame, his anchor to two gap, just sit there and take two guys like right there is a little bit difficult for him. But Jim Leonard kept him moving as the nose tackle a little bit, like shifts right at the snap, and that's what Deion Walker was good at in McDermott's. So he's making sure that Deion Walker, his skill set is still in Leonard's defense, but still letting him play nose, and I think it's perfect.
And he's lost. I know he looks like he's lost at least 20 pounds.
He looks good, yeah.
He looks really good. He doesn't look sloppy like he did a little bit last year. He looks very good, like he's like firmed up. And even though he might, let's say he weighs 320 now instead of 340 or whatever. I mean, that doesn't mean he can't anchor. That actually takes a lot of stress off his back, these back problems that he had, having that less weight. You know, he might be able to anchor even better and use more of his muscle and be less laboring to actually two gap. You know, so he's, to me, like, I don't know. I always thought he had like Chris Jones type potential, and that's a lofty goal for him. But that's a ceiling, you know, just his movement skills and things he can do. You know, so
I mean, when it comes down to like nose tackles creating pressure, right? He can be in that league. I definitely think that that's a possibility when you're looking at Dexter Lawrence is the one that creates Vita Vea as a pure nose
Zach
tackle.
Jones.
As a pure nose tackle, he can be in that group where you are defending the run, but also creating at a high pressure rate. I love it so much.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm really impressed. What do you think of Landon?
I think he looked good. Overall, I think he looked tough. I think he looked strong. I think he was keeping good gap integrity.
Yep.
And I think more things will come for him once he gets more to NFL speed. I think we'll see a lot in 2 and 3 out of Landon Jackson better. So I think it was a good first outing for his body transformation.
I agree. I thought he did I think you hit the nail on the head with all that. The one thing that I think we have to set our expectations down to, not down, but like he's not going to be the player that we drafted him to be anymore. He's going to look different. He's going to be, if he can just be a solid, steady role player that can be in the rotation and not F up, that's a win. I mean, that's really what he is. And maybe he gets a sack here or there kind of thing, you know?
And it's a mid-third round pick. That's not even terrible value to begin with. Like,
it's fine value.
A third round pick, that's what you get the occasional star or good starter, but half the third round picks in most drafts are out of the league in 3 to 4 years anyway. So getting a good quality role player is perfectly fine.
No, I'm fine with the pick. I think that it's and the fact that they transitioned his body successfully. Yeah, think of how many times they try to say they're going to transition a body into something else, and it just doesn't work. You know, like the player can't do it, or the player does it, and it ends up being kind of limiting who he is as an actual player, who he was in college. So. I thought he looked fine.
I think it's his mentality. He's always had a fantastic mentality when it came down to it. So
kid.
Exactly. I think he's like, you know, obviously I'm close to Arkansas, so I got to watch him play. Saw all his interviews. He got married early. He is a family man. I think he knows that this is his check. Like, I need to make this money because I'm a family man. So that's why he works so hard, which I love.
Yeah. And he's a freaky guy. Like, I mean, he's got long arms. He's athletic. He's tall. Like, he'll make it in this league as long as he tries.
Yeah.
He doesn't get lazy. He's going to make it. Now, he may never be a giant contract guy. He may be a guy that ends up making $7-8 million a year his whole career. That's fine. That's super rich.
That's a lot of
super way richer than any of us combined that we may ever make in our entire life.
Yeah. I'll be like $7 or $8 million a year for like 5 to 10 years. Pocket change, honestly.
Like, give it to me one time. Give me 1 year of it, and I'll make that last for me forever.
Yeah. That's why I hate those athletes that are like, well, if you think about it, all the taxes and everything you have to pay. It's like, okay, even if you take a $40 million contract and you take out 2/3 of it, that's still generational
So
wealth
much
for
money.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stop
Yeah.
buying 300,000
Dude,
Lamborghinis for your girlfriend.
That's generational wealth for everyone. The problem
Yeah.
is you have these kids who get all this money, they don't know how to spend it. It's not their fault a lot of times. Just that they're just not educated on how to manage their money. And most 22-year-olds aren't, you know.
Exactly. I would
Most
spend it all.
28-year-olds
I would
aren't.
spend it all, man.
Yeah.
As a 23-year-old right now, yep, you are correct.
Well, if you're single, you don't have a wife, you know, you got no responsibilities, you know. The only thing I'll blame you for if you're spending your money and you're throwing it around to everybody who comes asking you for money, you should know better than that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, sure.
spending your money on Lambos and things like that, like I guess if I was single at that age, I probably would do the same thing
all day.
Yeah.
But I'm not, so I'm gonna judge.
I'm going to judge you now at 44 years old. So all right, so here's the other.
It's like I want that type of money.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think of the? What do you think of TJ Parker's game? I thought it was kind of up and down.
He showed flashes, which is not. I mean, the sack was cool.
That was a cool sack, I guess. It was kind of a cleanup.
Rookie, but I mean, it showed flashes kind of right now. He's really a rotational piece this year.
Mm-hmm.
So he learns the system. So if he can show some flashes and give some juice occasionally, that's a win for me year one.
He's kind of. It's funny. I don't remember feeling this way at Clemson. But and it's not. This is not an insult to him at all. But I feel like he needs to add. I think he needs to get in the weight room with Bradley Chubb because their body types are pretty similar. But he still has that kind of baby fat on him. You know what I mean? And like it's like it's not baby fat. You know what I mean? But he's like he just needs to lean up a little bit. I think because I think it'll help him with kind of his explosiveness and things like that. But him and Bradley Chubb working out, I like. Hopefully he takes because they have a similar body type. He could become a Bradley Chubb player. Yeah, exactly. They're very similar players. And I just felt like there's like a little bit, I don't know. I want him to be more physically imposing when he's out there. I like the sack. It felt like it was a little bit of a cleanup. But maybe that's just who he is. Maybe he's just not a guy who's just going to beat you cleanly every single play. You know what I mean? Like, we really don't have ends like that anyway, I guess.
Yeah, he's not.
With the interior pressure we'll be able to get, we don't really need that per se.
Yeah, he's not like a quick move inside counter that's going to be super clean and he's going to come untouched. He's always that hand fighting guy. So I do think I agree with Miley. I think Miley kind of put it perfectly. I think he's just going to learn from Bradley Chubb and then he's going to try and turn. And you said that as well, Alex. He's going to turn into a Bradley Chubb sort of thing, which is great. And I thought Bradley Chubb looked like a freaking wrecking ball, kind of like a Michael Hoyt-esque when it came into coming off that side. He was drilling into tackles and guards to open up like Deion Walker's. I think Deion Walker sack came because Bradley Chubb was coming on that side, and he ran right into the tackle and guard and literally washed him out. Like, it was impressive. Like, they disappeared, and then Deion Walker came in on it. So the way that Bradley Chubb was helping out the line was really fun to watch. Like, he was being unselfish in a preseason game, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah, the best I've seen since Prime Bond on this line.
He is. Yeah, he is easily the best pass rusher we've had besides pre ACL Ron.
Yeah.
And we saw. I mean, we kind of saw last year with just even add Hoyt to that pass rush, and it was lethal for 2 games.
Right.
Now you're basically adding Hoyt and Chubb to it. Like, I'm really.
And TJ Parker.
Yeah, we're not going to have some 15 sack guy. We don't have anyone like that. We're going to have a bunch of people that are going to get like 6 to 10 sacks, and that's just how. Like, same thing the Eagles have been doing. The same thing the Seahawks did last year. Just get a bunch of guys who can create havoc, and then you can make your mismatches and do stunts and do different things. And you have 8 guys who can get a sack when needed.
What about the TJ Sanders? What did you see on the All-22 from him? I didn't see much in the game. He kind of felt like a ghost out there, but I wasn't sure if
at least he didn't look out of place.
Yeah,
I just didn't notice him.
I mean, that's kind of what it was when it came down to it. He looked all right. He had some flashes, but he looked a lot like he did last year. So he kind of didn't stand out at that point. It was all right. But even like jumping on those on the sack count, I agree. And if you look, like Jim Leonard sent TV on a blitz, Kilgore came down. Like DBs are going to get theirs as well, and that's going to be really fun.
Which is great for Benford because Benford is a great blitzer.
He is.
Yeah, he's a good corner blitz guy. Yeah.
It's
So
even turned into a pick six.
Yeah.
yeah.
For real.
So the funny thing was with what's his name? Walker, right?
Yeah.
Not Walker.
Yeah.
He said he was upset that he didn't get a pick six. I didn't see that there was a possibility for that at all.
I didn't either.
He ended up being in the right place at the right time. Good for him. He got his pick. This is what's
But people
concerning.
around him.
I'm a little concerned because I'm not saying he's had a great camp. Everybody says he's got a great camp, but those type of plays are few and far between, right? Those types of plays, right? Where he attacks the guy in the backfield, he reads the play right, it gets an interception, right? I want to see how you can cover guys down the field, on the boundary or field or whatever. Like, I just don't. I need to see more of it. I don't want that. I don't want them to get blinded by like this flash play stuff with him, where he's like just kind of like a crafty, like he's got a nose for the ball kind of guy. It feels like. But is he actually like a really skilled corner?
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Give up the most amount of yards, but then
right. Well, Bland. But see, Bland's covering dudes down the field. Yeah, he's getting cooked sometimes, but it's almost like more like Trayvon Diggs, where like Trayvon Diggs' weakness is kind of similar to what Walker's weakness is, where he's just not very agile or not. He can't really turn his hips and run with guys very well. He's too tall and like high cut almost. And I worry that that's there, and then with a Levi Wallace level athlete. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what his Arkansas tape is. PTSD. That's the issue. I sent you guys that vertical route, and that is pretty much exactly what was on the Arkansas tape when he would get burned. It's exactly that vertical route in the preseason. And then he had a pick six for the exact same thing he did in Arkansas. Yeah, same thing he did in the preseason was in Arkansas. That's how he got it. And then he's decent in red zone defense because it's short and quick. Anything long is his Achilles heel, and it already showed in preseason game 1. So I love that people have stock up on him, but it's glaring. It's glaring, and it's there.
There's, like I said, there's some gaps here that I feel like Toriano Pride, who he got beat a couple times in this game. I was happy with he stayed in phase with every player he was with. He didn't get cooked.
I agree.
Like, you know what I mean? He made a pass interference play. You should, it was kind of ticky-tacky, the pass interference, in my opinion. I probably would have been up 50-50 on calling that. But also, like, just a couple times he did get beat. I didn't think it was egregious. I thought it was like, oh, he's like really close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know he can do these things. He's just a supreme athlete. I hope he doesn't lose out because of these types of things. On the flip side, Walker's a great kid. He seems like an awesome kid. Super like positive and upbeat, and you want those guys on your team. So maybe they keep both. I don't know. But I think it'd be unlikely to keep both, right?
Yeah, no, because we kind of already have or at least 3 set boundary guys, and Alford can play out there if needed, and you got
Hancock can play out if needed, and they're both going to make 2 nickel corners are going to make this team.
Hancock's been kind of
great.
Yeah, I was going to say people have been talking about. I was just watching someone who's like, every time I see him, like every day out in practice, he's always making plays.
He's not a safety. We know
he's
that.
not. He's easily a nickel.
He's a nickel corner.
That Jacksonville game should basically ban every coach from ever trying to play him safety again.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a little bit of like their necessity, desperation.
Yeah, that is true, but that was that. I liked Hancock's rookie year. That was terrible. I literally was watching. T-Law would just stare basically down every route in his area and throw it every single time.
Because he's a to me a more athletic Taron Johnson in his like skill set. Yeah. Like what he can be.
Yeah.
He's a heck of a tackler. He's big, he's physical, he's fast. He's he has a nose for the football in the backfield. Like he could probably play box safety, you know what I mean? But he's definitely not like a center fielder. Like
we already have enough box safeties.
Yeah, exactly. Biggest concern coming out of the game is the grass turf. Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a second. I do want to get into the stadium stuff just a little bit today. Okay, so we talked about Walker and Hancock. Anybody else that you thought stuck out? DeMar Hamlin seems to be
playing
on the team
a lot. I'm glad. I know. I am glad that DeMar Hamlin played safety, so maybe Jordan Hancock could play the nickel position when it came down to it, sort of thing. But
Geno Stone's just not playing well, and he's effing up a bunch. I mean, what was the play? He just the face mask. Like there was no reason for him to even come in on that play and pull his face mask. Like the guy was going down. Like it ruined it was a third down play, and we had stopped him, and he gave him a first down. And it's like
Kilgore looked pretty good though.
Kilgore did look good.
Yeah, Kilgore looked good.
You can see his speed. He's
just an athlete.
Outside of Lowry, I mean, this rookie class in general, I thought was pretty impressive.
Mike Dana looked good. He
For
did
being
look very
like their
good.
first time playing, like obviously there's rookie.
So
like
Javon Solomon.
Solomon looked good too, though. Like I know Dana got the sacks, but Javon Solomon, I could feel him out there. Like I felt like the sack from TJ Parker was because Solomon was on the other side and forced the quarterback to step up in the pocket, and then Parker kind of shed the tackle and then got inside on him, or maybe it was a tight end. I'm not sure. And I felt like he caused that. You could feel Solomon. He didn't get any stats on the stat sheet, I don't think. But I mean, I was like, oh, this makes more sense than what we've been doing for 2 years with him.
Yeah, for sure.
This fits. For him.
They were right. They were right.
He's a third down pass rusher,
and he's got juice. He's got some explosion off the edge. I felt him. Like he got off the edge. I was like, oh, he's coming. He didn't finish every time, but he was. I felt his presence.
He probably like 20 to 25% of the snaps this year to keep the other guys fresh and just on like a lot of third down pass rush juice. Like that's perfect.
And Dana might make the team too, by the way. I mean, they could keep 13 defensive linemen potentially.
Yeah.
I can see him
rotate the fuck out of them.
And then that's why they run only 23 offensive players and 27 defensive. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But I don't know. See, Dana was also playing against the third stringers predominantly. So I got to see him kind of play in more meaningful snaps.
Which kind of shows that Solomon's on the pecking order ahead of Dana.
Yeah, he is for sure.
I think Dana is kind of almost like insurance. If Solomon didn't look good, it's like, all right, we have a set veteran that knows the way around, has produced before. But with him playing against third stringers, it might be a bit of an uphill battle for him to make the roster, unless they decide they want to just keep every defensive player
that they have, or they don't think that. Or they run small and wait for Phi Mathis to get back, and maybe they cut Dwayne Carter or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I still doubt that happens, but because I think they're intentional about what they want him to do, and usually when they do that, they follow through. But I've always been a bigger Phi Mathis guy than I was a Dwayne Carter guy. I don't think it's not like he's a UDFA or anything. When you're talking about a second round pick, that came from another team, just kind of fresh start. So,
he looked pretty good.
What did he get in trouble?
I don't know. It's still. I think
alcohol when he was on the Jets.
Alcohol
from a 2025 from Jets related in 2025, I think, or 2024. But it was alcohol related. So I am guessing that. I'm guessing that maybe he was drinking in the locker room, which also shouldn't be an offense when it comes down to being a New York Jets player. But that's like the only alcohol offense, right?
That is like a consoling thing after they lose every game.
Right. We know
that.
Sorry
you have to play for this dog shit franchise.
Here's shots
of Ciroc.
And if it was a DUI, we would know.
Yeah, exactly. It would have just said DUI related, and it would have been suspended on that. And it was it was like substance abuse. So
maybe this could be what it was. I mean, just me spitballing. I don't know if this is the truth. Maybe they were doing the random drug test stuff, and he just got freaking tanked the night before, right? Got drunk as shit. And then they tested him, and they found out his BAC coming into practice was like freaking 0.15 still or something. You know what I mean? And they're like, shit, we got to give him something for this. You know what I mean? It can't be like this.
3 games is absurd. He should have just been suspended for the next game.
Exactly.
That's what's
Why did they wait that long for that? That's
like
the weird part is.
I think the only way we'll be able to figure it out is if somebody asks Mathis about it, and Mathis, it comes out of Mathis' mouth. Because I don't even think Joe Brady would even say it, to be honest with you, which I think is right by Joe Brady. So I think we have to hear. But he looked good. His hands were active and violent when he was coming from the nose tech. Looked good.
Who?
Mathis.
Mathis, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mathis is a good. I think they paid him intentionally.
Yeah.
He's concerned. Your boy here is concerned about DJ's ankle. I'm not really.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not either.
No,
he's been concerned since the game.
Yeah.
I told him everything's good.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think we would have heard something by now. It'd been a problem. They said he could have came back in the game if
But it
they
meant
were,
nothing, yeah.
playing. Keon Coleman's ankle foot, whatever, is more concerning for me. If you're in a boot, that usually tells me like high ankle or some sort of foot sprain or something like that.
Like Jeremiah Love, because the Cardinals decided to give him 14 carries.
High ankle sprain too, man. Like, what are you doing?
And what's his LaFleur got mad at them for questioning him about that, by the way. He got kind of shitty with him. I'm like, dude, like you shouldn't have done it.
By his ninth snap, he had a spin move that he ended up gaining like an extra 7 or 8 yards on. Like, that's when you take him out. Like, he had this sick run where it was a spin move. Take him out there. You're done.
And
cool. You're doing what you're doing at Notre Dame.
Running backs too. They have James Conner. They have Tyler Algier. Like, it's not like it's Jeremiah Love and complete bums. Like, they have other NFL caliber running backs, even though that still wouldn't matter since preseason. But
what the hell? Sorry, my lights are going on and off. I don't know what the hell's going on. Let me mute.
Ian Wither or Frank Gore Jr. We kind of talked about that.
We already discussed it. Yeah. We think that neither of them really have much of a chance. Because unless Ty Johnson's injury is worse than we think, because they all fill roles really well. Ray Davis, great return man, and I think he's a quality change of pace of James Cook. And then Ty Johnson's arguably the best third down back in the league. So I think just their specialized roles. Even if you make an argument that Wheeler or Gore is about a pure runner than Ty Johnson. Ty Johnson's ability as a third down back, I think, just makes him far too valuable because we don't really need him as a pure down-to-down runner. We don't use him like that. We have James Cook and Ray Davis.
Yeah, exactly. I agree when it comes down to it. So Ty Johnson, I think, will be back. So I don't think that there's an insane amount. I think the biggest injury concern for me is definitely Connor McGovern. I would like him back for the Houston Texans.
And
really bad. That's good. Like, really bad.
Yeah,
we
need our offense fully healthy against that team.
Yeah. We were just getting into like minor league injuries, and we talked about Connor McGovern and how good it would be for him to be ready for the Houston Texans because a center would create a huge problem.
The good news is Cushionberry is a good center when he's healthy.
Yeah. I
don't want that. I think McGovern's better.
Like a Pro Bowl starting guy if he is healthy, but he's been dealing with injuries. Like his first year with the Titans was really, really good, and then he got injured, and last year was not good, and then they caught him.
In my take on Wheeler and Gore, I think they're both going to be in the practice. Well, maybe just one on the practice squad if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can rock. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my there we go. Well, it still looks like shit. I don't know how you put them both on the practice squad either, because they're not going to carry 2 running backs. I don't think.
Yeah.
And Todd probably will be back.
Yeah, I would like to see Wheeler in the NFL. So let's see how he can showcase himself for 2 and 3, and then go from there. I thought Dorian Williams looked pretty good. I think his coverage, I think he looked like himself, but he really limited a lot of yak. And came down hard and made good tackles. So I think that's promising for our 3. Yes, right. I think Andreessen in coverage looked okay. I think Keontae Jenkins looked pretty good in tackling and being active and physical. I think that was pretty good. I'm curious.
Has legitimate chance to make the roster.
I think he has a legitimate chance to make the roster. I agree.
Who, Keontae? Yeah, Keontae's making the team. I think he's ahead of. If they keep 5 linebackers, Andreessen will make it. If he doesn't, then he's not making the team. I think Keontae's making the team. Over.
Yeah. He looks
it makes sense. Yeah. I mean, they've been playing him kind of like on that second with Dorian.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And Dorian looked good. So did KEO.
KEO.
Yeah. The linebackers
TB looked good.
All showed they all played fine.
Yep.
As long as he can stay healthy, TB will be fine. I thought he started getting a little nose for the football during the game too.
We'll have a big test for them week 2.
He had the batted ball on the first creeper.
Because I'm not too worried week 1. I mean, David Montgomery and that offensive line, week 2, that's what will kind of really the linebackers will really get tested with Laporta and Gibbs and that offensive line. Mm-hmm. We'll definitely see if they really got it or not.
Yeah. This Montgomery's a kind of he's a good player. I just don't think he should get every down and scary back.
Right.
Yeah.
And Gibbs is the other one, right? I mean, I like Gibbs, But
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen him to get all the carries yet either. He'll probably be fine, but
I agree.
I think he's
That's
been getting
that's one of my
overrated.
hot takes.
Yeah,
I agree. That's one of my hot
I've been
takes.
taking Bijan. Like I do a lot of
What?
like best ball fantasy drafts and stuff, and
Mhm.
I've been for some reason getting the first pick like in half of them. I'm taking Bijan over Gibbs every time. I just think Bijan's shown to be able to handle the full workload, and Gibbs is also shown to sometimes be extremely inefficient as a runner. Like I think even that one
Mhm.
game against the
yeah,
it was the week after the Giants, and they get like a 40-point game, and then like the next week he had like 10 carries for 8 yards or something like that. Or it might have been the Giants game, and then in overtime he had like a big run that saved it. I don't exactly remember.
Yeah, he's an average interior rusher. He does
Yeah.
outside runs and catches the ball really well, which is great. But yeah, I think he needs somebody, and that's why they
did
paid
sign
David
Pacheco.
Montgomery all that money.
And then they
kept him on,
signed
yeah.
Pacheco after they traded him.
Pacheco is just
Here-
not
my-
a good running back.
my hot take on the Lions is that, and this could come back to bite me, but I think that their fade started last year and they're going to keep fading.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, I think their offense is still going to put up numbers, but
It'll be fine. I think Goff is starting to, walk back down the stairs a little bit.
yeah, you're
So-
starting to see what happens when Goff doesn't have like the greatest situation ever around him.
Yep, and you
Yeah.
can't scheme up things around him perfectly like
Yeah.
Bill Johnson did.
The offensive line is kind of starting to
Bryant's getting hurt.
deteriorate a little bit, and then they lose Ben Johnson, and
they
now
could beat
lose
teams.
Montgomery. Yeah,
they're,
I mean,
they're going to beat teams, but they're not going to be. They'll never be what they were 2 years ago. 3 years
Yeah, I
ago.
agree.
yeah, I mean, yeah, they still have a lot of stars: Gibbs, Amon-Ra, Sewell, Aiden Hutchinson, but they're kind of start becoming one of those stars and scrubs teams. They don't have a lot of depth because they're paying so many people big money now.
Yeah.
Fair.
And they don't necessarily scare me. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown's a good player. I like him. He's not Jamar Chase scary. And Jameson Williams is like a very one-trick pony,
And then
Laporta
Laporta's,
kind
I
of
think, a
faded.
bit I was going to see he's a bit overrated. He's still
Well, we'll have to
quality
see how Laporta
starting
does
tight end,
now.
but there's
Yeah,
a reason why they haven't paid him. They paid Jameson Williams over him.
Yeah. I don't know if I agree with that though.
Yeah, I don't know either. But no, he can't get paid yet.
Laporta? He was a
Yeah,
second
he
round
can get
pick,
paid.
man.
Yeah.
He's the same
Laporta-
draft as Kincaid, though.
Yeah, but Laporta was a second round pick. Kincaid was a first round pick.
Oh,
Right.
They have to
So
decide
he's
now.
And Kincaid
final
get
years this
extended
year,
now.
right?
Yeah.
Final years this year.
Kincaid
Yeah.
can get extended right now, just like JSN and Witherspoon got extended.
Right.
They could.
We
He
just
could.
haven't extended Kincaid
Yeah.
because we have the fifth year. So with his injury, there's no
Wait one
reason
more
to
year.
extend him right now. We have to wait and see
Right.
if he can. Because if Kincaid plays, I think at least like 14 plus games this year, I think you extend him.
I mean, if you think
Man, I
about
think
who
he's
we
extended before the year ends.
think about what the Lions are as
I just
far
want to
as
see him play
their.
a full year, basically healthy before
I
I
know.
extend him.
I kind of like.
I'm jumping the gun.
I kind of like our receiving weapons better than I do the Lions now with DJ
A
Moore on
lot
the team.
deeper for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Like
a lot more depth.
Amon is easily better than anyone. Like
Sure.
we have, but like then it's like I think DJ Moore is better than Jameson Williams. I think Kincaid's a better
By far.
receiver than Laporta. They're
Yep.
tight end.
Yeah, they're both
tight
healthy.
end 2 and 3 are better.
Yep.
Shakir, Jameson Williams, they do completely different things. I think they're probably about even level players. And
Yep.
then yeah, I would take Palmer over. I have no idea who the wide receiver 3 is. I think
don't
Tesla.
either.
Well, it'd
And then
almost be like
even Keon.
Palmer and Jamison Williams, right? Because that would be
Palmer's
the
a
better
similar
comparison. Would it be Palmer and Jamison Williams
Sure.
would be the comparison?
And then we have
Yeah.
So it's
So
like
like maybe a
Jameson's.
slight edge on Jamison at that point.
Jameson
but
Williams better.
Palmer could supersede him.
Yeah, Jameson's better just because he's really good at that one thing. And
Yeah.
you can bet on it.
Right.
The reason I might give the advantage still to Detroit, though, is just because of Gibbs.
I just meant for like just in general, minus the
Yeah.
running backs. I
Oh,
was kind of
okay.
talking
I
about
don't
more.
know.
But I mean, Cook is still really
You got to
like
stop
not
hating
far.
on James
Good.
Cook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cook is good, but like he's not. He's
I mean-
not. It's just a receiver.
We're talking about the
I don't know, we'll
difference
see.
between.
Hey,
used
Joe-
more. He's
Joe Brady lined up in 10 personnel with James Cook as an inline tight end sort of thing, like in that kind of spot.
Yeah,
That was a
wing
super
back.
interesting. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
super interesting
James Cook could be
formation.
better as a receiver. He's
Yeah.
not
The age.
near Gibbs as a receiver. Like
No, he's
I
not.
think-
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Gibbs
No,
is
he's
like,
not. But I mean, I don't think
maybe best in the league, second best behind CMC. level
James Cook
receiver.
should have been that though because of what we drafted him to be.
He has some
Like,
drop,
in
literally,
college.
drop
In
issues though
college.
for us.
It's his
Yeah.
drops. That's the problem
Yeah.
for him. Everything else is good for him, actually. I don't think that the way he runs routes and the way his speed works and things like that are that far off from Gibbs.
Yeah,
It
because he's
just causes
very
better pressure.
agile.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
smooth. He's
I
just really
still
smooth
remember
runner.
that Dolphins game when we had to get the Hardy touchdown and that weird Sherfield catch to like win. When we won the division from them, and Cook had that drop right before halftime. On that touchdown, and I'm like, because I was stressing that game too much. I'm down there. I spent all the money to go down to the game, and like then Cook drops it. It's like
that's a tough game to watch too.
I
know we won.
It
was insanely stressful
for sure. I was tailgating and enjoying myself in the game.
Too stressful. I would not have wanted to be there. It was funny though.
Great. Well, I mean, I had some alcohol in the system to calm the nerves some, but it wasn't. I think the most stress I've ever been in a game easily was that final drive against Kansas City when Bass missed that field goal. I literally had to sit and just start like focusing on breathing because my heart was beating so fast. I genuinely thought I was going to have a heart attack. It was like my heart was like beating and getting really warm, and I just had to sit there and go.
So
just to calm myself down because I was so anxious.
You keep coming up with good transition points. Last point. What about Tyler Bass?
Not great, but give him the full preseason. I mean, it was the first time he kicked since last preseason. Like let's see, but that was not good.
I think we're stuck with him, so I hope he figures it out when it comes down to it, or we're going to have to play the roulette game of trying to find somebody, pick him up, work him out like we did last year sort of thing. I love that Tommy Doman held the ball very well for Tyler Bass, so that's probably our punter.
What about we
were talking about the stadium a bit?
We just had I shared one earlier. There's with their kicker got cut. Was released today by the Commanders. Moody, I wouldn't mind bringing him in to check it out. My concern with him is all the kicks he made looked good, and then he missed one. And every time he kicks, he looks depressed, like he's a defeated man. Every time I see him kick, you see the look on his face is just like he has no confidence. Even when he makes his kicks, he looks unconfident. I gotta have my kicker with like a stone cold ice. Like when Prater used to hit kicks, miss them, make them, whatever. It's always the same. He looks confident, like he wants another shot. And Bass just never looks confident. I think he's broken. I know he was 4 for 5 or whatever, 3 or 4. And we shouldn't be too hard on him. But we've seen this so many times. I'm just kind of over it. And I think we should bring in Moody and see what happens. If he wins, he wins, but I just don't trust him at all. Like you can't be missing preseason kicks, you know? Okay. Stadium talk. Last thing we'll talk about. Man, let me get my thoughts real quick, cause you're probably not going to agree with me. Okay. So I get what they wanted to do with the stadium, right? And I'm going to go back to last week a little bit. It's kind of lingering in my head. The 360 view thing from the 300 and 400 levels, great, whatever. Give me like, instead of 100% 360 view, give me like 95% and get rid of the stupid glass railings that are cutting people's views off. I just keep seeing it over and over again. It seems to be relatively prevalent at the 400 level.
That's where it is.
It's on the 400 level.
Yeah, the 400 level. So that has no effect on any routes, really.
Yeah. Everything else below is perfect. And I understand even those seats look great from the viewing pleasure of like where they are and look and feel. But like, I don't understand how an engineer's like, we need this 360 view. I'm like, no, we need every seat to have clarity, or at least 99.99% of them. You know, like if it's 2 seats, great. But if it's almost every person who sits behind one of these things on the top row, that's not just like a one-off here or there. That's a common problem in that level of the stadium. That's a little bit bothersome to me, of like why they do it like that. That just kind of makes me annoyed. You know what I mean? Scoreboard, I think they're underselling the scoreboards. Scoreboards look good.
Scoreboards look great.
When they expand them out to be like the real size, when you get full video, it's plenty big. I'm sorry, it's way bigger than the other stadium. They need to cut it out with that. The only issue you have is that one
setting in pictures made them what they were doing. I swear they're doing like 0.5 on those pictures.
Did you see the guy?
I've been in there and I've seen it. I'm like, that's why I was telling you guys. I'm like, no, it's this. When they first got put in, everyone was taking these pictures. I'm looking at these pictures. I'm like, I'm seeing this with my own eyes, and it's much bigger than these pictures are telling. These pictures are underselling it. They're like 0.5ing it because I think they're trying to push a narrative or something.
The other thing that one guy complained about today that was just completely absurd is like, you can see the cement, the concrete. You can see it in the stands. I'm like, who gives a shit about that?
I actually think. What do you mean?
It like
I don't
what
even
see-
understand what that
Invisible
is.
concrete? Is that like you want
So,
to
like,
invent invisible concrete?
So the scoreboard's here like this, right? And then they have that little cutouts where the stands
Oh,
are,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You can see them. It kind of lines it. And they said in the renderings it was blue and not. I'm like, who cares? I think it actually kind of looks good to see the concrete. I actually enjoy. I like it. Feels like a real stadium.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't think that's a problem at all.
Yeah.
I think that's way over exaggerated. That's it. And the other thing is people talk about the field getting chopped up. I don't know if that's the type of grass we're using, how they have it rooted in, or if it's just this happens in every grass stadium. It doesn't feel like it's every grass stadium has the same problem, but I don't know. Y'all may know more about that than me.
I really don't. But the one thing I will say is it's the first game they played there. I mean, they had the practice there, but it's like this is the first game they've had a practice in a game. Like they're testing things. Like it's not going to be the grass is going to be perfect right away. It was turf before, so this is new to probably a lot of those groundskeepers. Like they're not used to it, so there's going to be some kinks that need to be worked out. I think it'll end up being fine.
I agree.
For sure.
Does anybody know what Tim Graham was reporting? I did see that they said Tim Graham reported on it. I don't know if there was news.
A lot
that
of
he
Bills
shared.
players were complaining, like even like Josh and like DJ Moore.
Oh,
That
were
was
they?
like a name. They were complaining about the grass, and then there's just like a lot of
Interesting.
patches and a lot of shit. That I mean, there's that practice that's going to be there tomorrow morning. That's open to the public.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe there'll be some improvements by then. One thing I also saw that was an insane complaint is when like the logo and the lettering was just the white outline. It's like
preseason.
Yeah, it's preseason. That's exactly. Oh, this looks like the Jaguars Stadium.
I got some information on that.
Looks the exact same. It's
I
a
did-
football field.
I did get some information on that, by the way, because I wanted clarity. Two things. Tim Graham said players in article who showed concern with field made emergency repairs. Josh Allen, DJ Moore, Spencer Brown, Deion Dawkins, Dalton Kincaid, Terrell Bernard, Reed Ferguson. You know what that tells me? It's going to get fixed.
It's gonna get fixed.
Yeah, it's all the top
You only need Josh
Yeah.
Allen to say it.
Yeah, you really need one person.
It could be like 52 players, and Josh like, no, it's good. And like, all right, then it's fine.
It's
Josh,
good. We don't need to worry about
the
you.
only one to be like, all right, we have to fix this immediately.
So the other thing is, I asked Thad Brown about this on X, and I said, is the outline thing that they're doing? I'm hoping that's just like they're starting it and they're just trying to figure out the color scheme, or like they're going to start adding when we get closer to the regular season. And he said, his words to me were, maybe, but they might be trying something new every single week.
Interesting.
I'm okay with that.
The renderings they had of the stadium, they had it all filled in. Like there was like it was all filled in. So like I have a doubt, especially with how many complaints. I highly doubt it'll just stay this white outline. They'll definitely fill something.
No, they
in.
can't do that. Yeah,
but maybe they might be like changing like the color scheme or like the design every week or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not just going to be a white outline. It's going to get filled in.
They can't do it. That's why they were. That's why they were clowning us. They're saying we look like the Jaguars and all this other shit.
Preseason.
Dude,
who cares? It's a football field.
Dude,
Most
I know. What are
every-
we doing? Like, what are we doing?
Every grass field looks exactly the same when they color in their stuff.
Grass is green. Football fields have lines.
Honestly, I think it's a shocker. I do think it's
paint it blue like Boise State.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit of a shock, culture shock for some of these people watching because they're so used. Our field is one of the most colorful in the NFL every year. I mean, even back when I was watching as a kid, like the end zones were almost pink. They were so red. It was a real unique look. Do you remember the early 90s? It felt like the end zone was almost like such a light red that it felt pink. Like they've always done and they have a red, white, and blue color scheme, which pops, right? And in other teams don't have that. And I think that people are used to like seeing our night, like an AstroTurf green field, right? That doesn't get chopped up. It just looks it was one of the things they did like with the type of field that we had. I like grass more. The way it looked great. You know what I mean? And I think they're not there yet because they haven't painted the field and because it's grass now, you know?
Exactly.
So it is a shock for some teams going, oh, your field looks like shit because it doesn't look like the old field.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
We'll see what
kind
happens in 2-3. It'll be fine.
It
Real
looks the
quick,
same as the Patriots.
Right, it does. Steve, I did see this too. I'm sure that this practice will end up that him just figuring out the yardage. I did see him scoot back. That was kind of actually funny that you brought that up because that rang my bell what it was. And I have one complaint about the stadium because my sister went to the preseason game. They still had the blue cheese under the heat lamp for the wings. What are we doing?
That's
Yeah,
not good. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Spoiling cheese.
She was like, the
wings.
wings. The wings were good. Blue cheese was liquid because they still had it under the heat lamp. I was like, that's crazy.
One thing I gotta say though, it's like just kind of about the stadium is did you guys see the renderings for the Browns stadium?
Yeah.
I think our stadium looks better. The people are saying it looks like a data center. Yeah, that's true. It literally looks like
it does look like a data center.
It's unique. It's modernized. It doesn't look. I want my football stadium to look like a
stadium.
football stadium.
Right.
I'm not trying to go to the mall. I'm not going
The
to
new stadiums.
I'm going to Highmark Stadium.
Well, most of the new stadiums do not look like stadiums. We're very unique now. Like the Titans' new stadium is not going to look like a stadium. Even the LA stadium, it looks like a stadium sort of. It almost looks like a convention center or something. Like we have to
I don't want my stadium to look like a stadium.
Yeah,
Raiders
yeah.
look like
And I think they're going to have a lot of problems with having a glass dome stadium in a place that snows a lot. They're going to have problems with the stadium. I guarantee
easily.
But it's the Browns
always
issues doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they're right on the lake. Like,
here's the thing.
Yeah,
people are going to be
jump off the stadium into the lake.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's true.
Like,
Yeah, they are right on the lake. Well, the old one was. I'm not. The new one's going to be on it too, I guess. But I think people are going to start seeing these new renderings. Like, look at the Commanders' new renderings and things. I mean, the Commanders' new rendering looks awesome because you have the Washington Monument in the background, and it's got a weird thing where you can drive around it, almost like
I thought
really
the Commanders,
cool,
that one I really liked. I think the Titans and the Browns, I think they're just doing too much.
Yeah, I think they're trying to be too unique and too cute with it.
No,
the Raiders stadium looks kind of like a stadium, I guess. Still,
yeah. But I get
ours looks like a real stadium.
I get Los Angeles and Vegas doing it the way they're it's Vegas and Los Angeles. Like those cities,
right, you kind of gotta.
You want to do fancy, nice looking things like that because those stadiums you're attracting big money people. Like Buffalo, there's going to be some rich people. We're not attracting Vegas gamblers or LA celebrities.
And also, they're already complaining about having the state pay for part of the stadium. You want to add another $1 billion to that? Because that's what that's going to cost you at least. Like that stadium's going to cost $3.8 billion.
Yeah, it's like, it's $2.2 billion for all this. Yeah, prices of things go up.
Yeah, and that's what it costs to build a stadium now. An affordable one.
Should have had a dome. A dome probably would have cost close to $3 billion. You would have been complaining about having to pay more money.
They said that adding a dome or retractable roof would cost at least another $1 billion.
Yeah, because it was
and that's estimation. So we're talking 1.5.
And you would have hated
it. Let's be real. Let's be real. I would have hated it.
Because the original was supposed to be 1.5. And then it overran 700 mil. It ended up being 2.2. And then on the original estimate, it was 1.5 for not a dome and 2.5 for a dome. And
dude,
and it's it would have been close to probably $3.5 billion. Yeah, it might have looked cooler, but it would have cost a lot more money, and it wouldn't have been played the way football's meant to be played.
Dude, I'd much rather sit in the weather.
Me too.
I'd much rather
crazy.
Sit
it was
crazy.
And
took an AI, it was made AI this view of this new stadium, but with snow in it, and they go good luck with this in the winter, and a bunch of Bills fans in the comments go, damn right, this is exactly what I want. That does not look cool.
New news. 8 new news in Western New York, man.
This is what I want it to look like. I know I'll be up in the 400s, and I won't have the snow on me, but I'll get to see the snow on the field. I'll be sick as fuck.
Yeah. Actually, that is a cool. Are you is your season tickets in the 400s?
Yeah, we're our seats are actually pretty nice. We're almost 50-yard line. We're 35, 40-yard line. We're
how many rows up are you?
10, I think, 10 or 11.
So you're just clearing you're not in front of the glass.
You're
clearing that. Yeah. Because I think
basically it's it would be almost row 10 at this stadium is row 20 at the last stadium. How much I have to walk up because it's double the amount of stairs per row. Yeah. Instead of one step, it's 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's built a lot more upright. Because that's something they wanted to happen because they wanted everyone to be closer to the stadium. You get a better overhead view. I'm really excited for that Lions game really being able to sit. Because I haven't been there like sitting in the seats as like a fan yet. I've just been in there like working, and so I'm excited to enjoy it as a fan because I'm not going to go to the last preseason game.
It's going to be much better. It's going to be much better viewing than the last stadium,
and much more comfortable too.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be a lot nicer, like as far as like just being able to view the whole game.
Yeah.
Especially from up. I even saw a picture where somebody was on the very top row. I think it was earlier today. And
That's a hike.
And from the picture, it doesn't give it justice. Whenever you see pictures, you always got to zoom in just a little bit to show what your eyes actually see. You know what I mean? So I did that a little bit, and I was like, oh, that would probably still be a really good view.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the nice thing too is since I'm like on the home side, I get the whole like big press box blocking even more, like wind and air coming in versus like the away side. It's a little more open, so it'll be definitely a couple degrees warmer on the home side.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, good show.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else?
Go Bills.
All right. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Dew Champions. FanDuel, the official sports book of Dew Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Dew Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.